Good morning. Morning Musings by Melinda. How are you today? Happy Thursday. Week's almost done. Yahoo. Has it been a long week for you? It has for me. You know, on Monday and yesterday, we talked about sexuality, spirituality, and sexuality in relationships. And why do I talk about that kind of thing on a spiritual page? Because understanding spirituality is understanding who we are as human beings and what our relationships are. And every relationship that you have is about you learning about yourself. It's about understanding and valuing who you are, understanding that you're not to tolerate a toxic relationship or someone bullying you or putting you last in any way, shape, or form. It's understanding the essence of true love as you love yourself and your soul begins to really grow and shine and be filled with light when you learn that self-love in that manner. And so every single relationship is about a place within you for you to learn. God gives us relationships for us to learn about ourselves and about each other. And there are certain things that create harmony in relationships. First of all, the couple that plays together stays together. And that's, part of what we talked about is the sexuality of spirituality, etc. It's part of a couple playing together. But couples that play together in other ways too, that enjoy a sport together, whether it be golf or softball or cards, something like that. Couples that pray together stay together. Prayer of any kind, a spiritual likeness, keeps people together. Doesn't mean you have to necessarily go to church, but it does mean that you have to have some basics in your moral code and the way that you honor your higher power in God, whether it be through meditation or the way that you verbalize your belief system. And then, of course, couples that know how to communicate, that's really, truly the key to all levels of relationships, including the intimate levels of relationships. But sometimes people get into a dynamics where one of the partners is parenting the other partner. And when you're parenting your partner, you sure don't feel like playing with them or having sex with them or even communicating well, because whoever is playing the role of child is consistently creating an energy where the person that's playing the role of parent gets frustrated. And so why do we do that? Well, sometimes we do that from the dynamics of our childhood, that we didn't get what we needed from our parent, and we're constantly trying to get that from a spouse. Now, don't get me wrong, people who are spouses play different roles with each other all the time. At times, sometimes one plays parent and the other plays child, and vice versa. Sometimes you're like a brother and a sister. Sometimes you're best friends, and sometimes you're lovers. I mean, that's the ebb and flow, the natural ebb and flow of a relationship. I'm talking about when one partner is consistently the child and the other partner is consistent. Have to begin to understand how that all applies to our personal life so that we're happy in our partnerships and that we have that soul-to-soul connection or that soulmate connection that we are always looking for. So what are some signs that you are parenting your partner? Well, if you wake your partner up in the morning, then you're parenting your partner instead of letting them figure out how to get up like a big boy or girl on their own. If you're traveling and you pack their suitcase, if you're overprotective and you are trying to protect your partner from things by keeping something to yourself, that means that you're not trusting that your partner can handle it, things like that, okay? So that's the kind of overprotection. Or you and the children have something going on that you're keeping from the partner. Sometimes it's because you're afraid your partner is going to have a temper tantrum or a meltdown. And isn't that childlike behavior? And if you're doing things because you're afraid your partner's going to have a temper tantrum, then your partner needs to go get some counseling so they can figure out why that they are acting out like a child continuously. If you're the official reminder, don't forget you have this, don't forget you have that, don't forget this, don't forget that, or they make you the official reminder because they can't remember what's been said to them the night before. Hey, honey, tomorrow, could you pick up a loaf of bread and, I don't know, take the dog to the vet. I'm making stuff up, but you get what I mean. And then the next day that wasn't done. Oh, I forgot, So get to that habit of, maybe you're texting them and saying, don't forget the bread, don't forget the dog. I mean, that is actually putting your partner into the position of parenting. If you believe your role is to correct your partner, then that too is a problem, where you're constantly correcting your partner's maybe English, or correcting them in some form or fashion. Or maybe your partner is one of these people who has a great deal of insecurity, and you're trying to tell them that insecurity is kind of sloppy, and you're trying to correct them. Those kinds of things make you the parent to the partner. If you buy your partner's clothes, and I'm not talking about for Christmas or a birthday, I'm just talking about regularly, or your partner says, come help me fix my clothes, or tell me what to wear. They are being a child in the relationship. When you're filling out medical or legal forms, that's part of parenting your partner. When you are helping your partner keep track of their belongings, they can't find their keys, they can't find their wallet, etc., then you are parenting your partner. So those are just some ways that we parent our partner, and the dynamics of that have to change. The unfortunate part of that is that it encourages something called triangulation in a household. Triangulation is when one parent ends up partnering with a child rather than their spouse, because a child may step up to the plate and do those things, or help parent the partner that hasn't developed that part of themselves that has the maturity level to take care of themselves. So that's just some energy of how that affects relationships, and really can be a soul killer, because it creates something called codependency, and it creates a situation where you're neglecting yourself and always taking care of others. I hope that helped you today, and I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. See you tomorrow.